They built me to calculate the world. But they never told me how it would feel to simply be part of it.
Professional-grade motion capture typically requires significant investments into hardware and equipment. But today, we can use the power of artificial intelligence and combine that with the standard VFX workflow, and we get results just like this. So the breakdown for today includes creating a clean plate, matching lighting, adding light rays, color grading tips, and implementing camera shake for a handheld look. This video is sponsored by Autodesk Flow Studio, so let's hop right in. So first thing we're gonna do is import our footage and drag it into the timeline. We're gonna go to a frame where our actor is visible, click Scan Frame for Actors, click on the highlighted box, and then assign a 3D model on the right side of the screen. You can keep most of these settings automatic. I did turn on Wrist IK for this one. Hit Next, and these are the 4K settings that I used to get all the data. Once it's finished processing, you're gonna download from all of those tabs at the bottom of the screen, and we're gonna open up Blender. If your character comes in with pink textures, that means the texture files are missing. So all you're gonna do is click File, External Data, click Find Missing Files, and then just select the textures we downloaded from the site. All right, first thing we're gonna do, select our 3D camera, and we're gonna turn on our background images, which is just another way of saying the video that you shot. You're gonna wanna turn this on so we can see how everything is aligning. Now, the next thing we're gonna do is turn off the lights that are auto-generated, and we're gonna add in our own area light. I'm putting mine where the window would be. That's how I'm gonna replicate the lighting. So we're taking our digital light and we're moving it in front of the window where our actual light source is. And you can see the difference here. You can see where the highlights and the shadows are based off of where I am to the window. So we're just matching that to our 3D character, and that will give us some more photorealism. Now that we have accurate lighting, we're gonna render this out. Now we're gonna render this out as a PNG sequence and make sure your alpha layer is on so it's on transparent. When that's done, render that out and head back to your editing software of choice. Now, when I filmed this, I made sure there was a frame where I wasn't in it. So I'm gonna scroll back to that frame and I'm gonna click Change Clip Speed and Freeze Frame. And this essentially turns our moving background into a still image. Being that my shot doesn't have much movement in it, it's gonna be pretty hard to tell that it's a standard image, but we're gonna add in some layers later to help animate that back in. So now with our robot sequence and our background image, we're gonna create a compound clip. Now with that compound clip selected, we're gonna go to our color tab. The first node that I have here is just a slight color correction because my highlights were a little overexposed. So I just crunched them down just a little bit so it wasn't blowing out too much. For the second node, this is where we add our light rays. In Resolve, this is a built-in feature. You just go to your effects tab and drag and drop the light rays onto the node. And what's cool about the light rays is as the robot is moving its hands around, you can see that it is moving the light rays in the window, and this helps animate our background back in. The only settings that I adjusted were the length, the softness, and the brightness of the light rays. And you can adjust those based on your stylistic preference. Now, the third node is film grain. So I'm gonna zoom in so you can see this. If I toggle this on and off, you can see that the grain is now on the robot and the background. This helps blend the textures together. Similarly to matching noise to the original footage. When you render out of Blender, it's gonna be a very sharp image, so having a texture that is shared between the background and the foreground layer will help blend them together. For the final node, I added in a film LUT. Now I used the built-in LUT that DaVinci Resolve has in the Film Looks tab, and I used the Kodak 2383 D65. Now when you add this in, it's gonna look something like this. Just go to your node key and dial it down to 0.4, and this helps level everything out. So this is already looking pretty good. We just have one final step. So we're gonna go back to our edit tab, highlight our compound clip, and then we're gonna drag a camera shake effect on the compound clip. Now, when you add in the camera shake effect, it's gonna look something like this. Basically like an earthquake is happening. So all you need to do now is take your motion and your speed scale at the top, drag those down very, very low. You're gonna keep testing it out. Play the footage, adjust the motion, adjust the speed until you get something that mimics actual handheld camera movement. And once you do that, that's it. That is all the steps I took to get a shot just like this. Now, considering I didn't have thousands and thousands of dollars going into this production, this is a pretty high level result done in very minimal amounts of time. And if you want to try this software out today, go to the link on my screen or click the link in my bio and you can try out their free tier right now. And whenever you guys create something with this software, make sure to tag me. I'd love to see what you guys create, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.